Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 49 of the Shadow Cult podcast. We are one episode away from not only a milestone number 50, but the 1-year anniversary that you all are going to be tuning in for sure. But we got this week to talk about, and joining me tonight, it's Scott and James. Walter couldn't make it tonight, family stuff, but he'll be back next week. And pretty good show we got in line for you tonight. We are talking TNA Lockdown 2006, the second annual All Six Sides of Steel pay-per-view. Now, I'd say before we get into everything, I think it'd be best to kind of talk about, like, how did the Lockdown pay-per-view concept become a thing? Because there's always rumors and misconceptions that it was Vince Russo's idea, which it wasn't. Would you two gentlemen care to explain that?
I'll let James get on that.
So the original idea for Lockdown, that it was going to be 2 matches inside of a steel cage. It was going to be the kind of concept, the original Lethal Lockdown, which didn't end up turning out good, and the AJ Styles Abyss number one contender match. Then in a creative meeting, Dusty Rhodes made a joke, let's put every match in a steel cage. Dixie heard it, and she greenlit it. So it wasn't just 2 matches in a cage. Every match ended up in a cage. And for the next 8 years, you had this one show that it was all steel cage, which, okay, for one show, not a bad idea. But after that, it should have just been like 1 or 2 cage matches on a show, not an entire show, because it really devalued what a steel cage match is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, in different territories, the steel cage match had different rules. In the South, in the NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, the cage was set up to keep people out of it, and you had a match in the cage. There was a referee in the cage. You had pinfalls, submissions, all that stuff. In the Northeast, for WWF, the concept of the cage was to get out of it. So you get in it to get out of it. There was the whole different psychology to it. And, you know, of course, like looking at WrestleMania 2 with Hogan and Bundy, the whole concept of that was, okay, get in there, beat the fuck out of them, make them bleed, and then walk out. Just different mentalities to it. And even here, with this show we're looking at, both concepts are utilized. And it's like, does it really make sense? I mean, why would you do something like that?
You have some matches where it's like you can get in and out and no big deal. You see that a lot within Lockdown's history.
Right. So it just would really, as you said, that would further devalue the gimmick of the cage too when you had different rules for different matches.
And because there were so many cage matches in one night, you would get gimmicks within a gimmick.
Which you never want to do. But they do it here.
Yep. And so, moral of the story, if you're trying to run a wrestling company booking-wise, don't pitch a joke, otherwise it will bite you in the ass. Ask Ole Anderson, 1990 with the Black Scorpion.
Sting. Find your Sting. Just ask him if he remembers California in 86.
Woo! It's me! It's me, Sting!
It was me all along, Stinger! Woo! But anyways, so with all that crushing the misconception that it was Russo's idea, let's get on.
Russo was gone from the company when Lockdown was first conceived.
Right.
Yep. So without further ado, let's talk about the show at hand. So TNA Lockdown 2006 from the Impact Zone in Orlando, Florida, with an attendance of 900, higher than the 775 from 2005. No live gate because you couldn't have fans pay for tickets to the show at the Impact Zone, except for maybe 1 or 2 times over the years. Pay-per-view buys, 45,000. So up to this point, this was the most bought pay-per-view in TNA history up to this point.
There's a reason, and we'll talk about it later.
Yep. And so pay-per-view buys, when you look at it compared to Lockdown 05, higher by about 15,000 buys. And then as far as for overall in 2006, It was the third highest bought pay-per-view, actually tied for third highest with Final Resolution, while Genesis was the highest. But without further ado, Scott, what food do we have en masse here tonight?
All right, for Lockdown 2006 in Orlando, Florida, we have 6 sides of steel. We also have Larry Zbyszko, arm wrestling, a toin toss. We have the Big Bad Booty Daddy, Father James Mitchell promo, blood, a hanging, showtime, and for Arthur Jones, Gail Kim's booty. And before you ask, Arthur, it's Gail Kim. There's your answer. Okay, let's get to the moves for the show. We have 1 standing shooting star, 1 tiger suplex, 1 STO, 1 blue thunder bomb. Michael Cole, that's what it's called, not a Michinoku driver.
Yes.
We have 1 Death Valley driver, 1 best moonsault ever, 1 Canadian destroyer. How about that? Just 1. We have a shooting star off the top of the cage, 1 cradle shock, 1 top rope cutter, 1 muscle buster, 1 super bubba bomb. We have a wasa, 2 3Ds, 1 jumping tornado DDT. We got 1 regular kill switch / unprettier, and 1 kill switch unprettier into the tax. 1 frog splash from the top of the cage, 1 shock treatment, 1 power bomb off the top into tax, 1 black hole slam, 1 catatonic, 1 styles clash, 1 eye of the storm, 1 tower of doom spot. Looks brutal as fuck, by the way. 1 splash from the ceiling through a table on top of the cage. Can we add any more to that statement? 1 stroke on a chair. Doesn't sound like a wrestling move, but it is here. 1 gore, 1 scorpion death drop, 1 sharpshooter, technically, and 1 scorpion deathlock, technically. For the foo, we have, obviously, cage foo, and we have chair foo, strap foo, table foo, stair foo, cane foo, thumbtack foo, chain foo, Singapore cane foo, guitar foo, and handcuff foo.
And if I may add one more, Canadian bacon foo.
X Division foo.
X Division foo, yeah.
Yep. But anyways, people will get the Canadian bacon reference when we get to it. But anyway, so we kick things off with a 6 Sides of Steel 6-man X Division tag team match, aka the World X Cup preview match. We have Team USA, Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Alex Shelley, versus Team Japan of Black Tiger, Minoru Tanaka, and Hiroki Goto. So, yeah, this was a tradition for TNA that started back in 2004, that every 2 years you would get the World X Cup, where you'd have 4 different teams from 4 different countries. It was always typically, for the most part, it was always USA, Canada, Japan, and Mexico. One year they did have England. I think it was for the first one in 2004. They actually did have a Team England. But no Team England this time around. And while this was not the beginning of the World X Cup, it wasn't the official start, but this was like the preview match to get into it. And honestly, looking back, the World X Cup, I thought was a great concept for TNA back in the day, and it sucks that they never did again after 2008, because I really, really liked those matches. But yeah, for an opening 6-man tag, these 6 guys put on a really good opener. Fast, quick action. Yep. It's X Division at its finest that you're watching. And this is the reason why, it's matches like this is the reason why whenever you look during the 2000s where you had WWE's Cruiserweights versus TNA's X Division, safe to say the X Division blew the Cruiserweights out of the water.
Yeah, I mean, X Division's all over the show. It's in every damn match, pretty much.
The first half of the show is all the X Division guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, so it's all over the place. Black Tiger in this match is Rocky Romero, one half of the Havana Pitbulls, trained by Homicide. So that's who that was under the mask at the time. You get to see all the great talents. It's fun to see these matches nowadays, 15 years later, and see like, okay, he's WWE backstage, he's in this company, he's working here, he doesn't work anymore, all that fun stuff.
I like the story heading into this where can Alex Shelley coexist with all of Team USA? Because this was the beginning of Alex Shelley and the paparazzi production, the Shelley Cam, and it was really, he went from just another wrestler to starting to become a name in the cruiserweights, the X Division.
Yeah.
It's a shame it took a while for him to get the X Division title. It's like another 5 or so years.
Yeah.
Well, that was the problem with a lot of those guys. They were colorless, flavorless, tasteless. They had no gimmick.
Yeah.
You know, it was okay. I do funky, crazy shit in the ring. All right, here's another guy who does funky, crazy shit in the ring. Put them in there, and they'll do funky, crazy shit. Do you remember their names? Not really. Oh, okay, let's get a gimmick on them. Okay. Oh, now they remember who he is. Oh yeah, now I know who he are. So
But once the paparazzi production started, he didn't really need the belt. But it would have been at this point him probably winning the X Division title.
Yeah, if only Samoa Joe, Daniels, and AJ weren't holding on to the top of the division at the time.
They weren't so damn good together.
Exactly.
Honestly,
that too.
those three were the best.
Yes.
So
yes.
let them feud for it. It don't matter.
Exactly. But yeah, and like you brought up with Shelley at the paparazzi production. So that gimmick had been going on for a couple months at this point. It all started a couple months prior with the whole stuff with Sting, which we'll talk more about when we get into the build up to the main event. But and then at one point you'd see the other members of Team Mexico show up on stage to watch what was going on, and wonder why there was
competition.
Yeah, scouting the competition. I'm shocked there was no Team Canada presence in this match either, on the other end of the stage. And also looking back with the Impact Zone, I really liked that idea of having two different entrances, one for the heels, one for the face. That was always really cool.
Oh, that would make sense, because why would heels and faces come out of the same place? Wouldn't they, in kayfabe, fight each other beforehand?
Right.
Yep.
That's why back in the day you had separate locker rooms.
Right. Kayfabe locker rooms, brother.
Yeah.
I always wanted to do that when I was booking, but like I know the boys would never go for it, because they were still at the time, and we were all still at the time where it's like we got to figure everything out ahead of time. If you had more experienced crew, maybe they'd be more cool with the kayfabe locker rooms and figure it out in the ring. But it wasn't going to fly at that time. Man, it would have been fun to do.
But in the end, Team Japan defeated Team USA in 12 minutes 3 seconds to kick off the show with a bang bang. Following that, we get another Six Sides of Steel X Division match, 1-on-1 this time. It's the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels versus formerly known as Low Ki, now known as Senshi. And this was actually a pretty big moment for TNA at the time, because it'd been a year and a half, almost 2 years since Low Ki was in the company, and two former members of Triple X together.
Triple X explodes here for the second straight year. Triple X explodes. Lockdown.
Absolutely, and like seeing Daniels' reaction, like, oh shit. It's like, how is this gonna go?
Because Low Ki, he was the X Division champion. He was tag team champions with Christopher Daniels and Triple X.
Yeah, so Mike Tenay did a good job of reminding people about his past. But and then these two go out there. While this match not as good as the opener, still a really good match between these two. Yeah. They've chopped the fuck out of each other. They chopped the fuck out of each other. Like, holy shit. Chops, 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 chops.
Ki was no fucking joke, man. God, it was serious as a heart attack.
The kicks.
I saw him backstage, like Ring of Honor shows, and he's forearming the goddamn cement wall, getting psyched up for his match. Like, Ki, Christopher Daniels! And then run out to the ring. Warrior. Senshi. Since
I think 15 years later, Daniels is still out there going.
AEW. He's talent coordinator at AEW.
And real quick,
last place I saw Ki work was Major League Wrestling, and that was before COVID. So I don't know what he's doing now.
Yeah. Real quick, thank you, Heckle and Twitch, for following as we just got into this match. But yeah, like I said,
press subscribe.
If you want to hear an orgasm, hit the subscribe button. Anyways,
do we have sounds on tonight?
Not the chat bot, not the chat bot.
Shut up, kiss my ass. Shut up. Go to hell.
Anyways, so but seeing these two go at it, it definitely made you wish that these two would have had a longer program going forward, like for like a number one contendership to the X Division title. They could have done a big story. It could have involved Skipper And like Skipper would have had to choose, okay, whose friend is he really with? Daniels or
Mhm.
Senshi? They could have done a whole storyline based around it, but they just
There was
never
shortly
really did.
after this when Daniels and AJ became a tag team and went after the tag belts, and Senshi would win the X Division title a couple of months
Again.
after this.
Mhm. And Arthur makes a good point. This was supposed to be Daniels versus Liger.
Mm-hmm.
Liger was the captain of Team Japan. And he had his group called CTU in New Japan at the time, which meant Counter Terrorist Unit. And he was doing more heelish Black Liger stuff at that time. So a much more serious gimmick over in Japan at that point.
But and then we get to the end of the match where Daniels is going for the classic Angel's Wings. Senshi counters it and then puts his feet up on the ropes. 1, 2, 3. Senshi steals a pin and picks up the win against Christopher Daniels in 12 minutes, 5 seconds. Then after that, well, all I'm going to say about the next part is we get a arm wrestling challenge. It's Bob Armstrong defeating Conan. Really, this was just a segment. It wasn't even anything.
It was fun, though.
But it was fun. It was fun,
Yeah.
but it
What
was
this
just
should
a
have
segment.
been, what this should have been, would have been James Gang LAX. Winner gets a few minutes alone with the manager of the other side.
Right.
You
Yeah.
could tease, oh my god, what'll happen if LAX gets 5 minutes alone with Bullet Bob? And of
Yeah.
course, you would have James Gang win, and they get 5 minutes against Conan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they really could have done something with this.
This was around the time where Conan's hip was starting to really give.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was breaking down horribly at this point.
He would soon have hip surgery, he'd be in the wheelchair, and then he'd be gone.
Yep. But yeah, then after the arm wrestling stuff, we get funny banter from BG James, leading to them using the belts to whack the shit out of all three of them.
1, 2, went. I said 2, not Billy. And then he said, "No, Kip. Kip's his name. Kip, I didn't go 3 yet." Oh, sorry, I got excited.
Cease and desist. Cease and desist.
You know the position. Bend over like this. But Bullet Bob, man, I don't know how old he was at the time, but man, fucking
66.
guns on that guy. What was he?
66 or something
66
like
at the
that.
time. He was like still had freaking guns on him and a good build. Like I would not fuck with Bob Armstrong at that point.
Hell,
Goddamn.
you could have done a 6-man tag
You could
with
have.
LAX and James Gang with Bullet Bob. It's like he could have held his own.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He did a match a few years later with him and BG challenging for the tag belts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, hell, when he was in Smoky Mountain, he had the biggest feud going with Jim Cornette, and they sold out one or two buildings with that match. For God's sake! So
I don't send you to the hospital. We will refund the entire crowd.
yes, yep. And he legit broke Bob Armstrong's sternum with the guitar with the tennis racket in that one match, and he knows like, oh shit, I'm fucked. Bob's gonna kill me.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. But anyway, so moving on to the next match in the X Division, we get the gimmick within a gimmick, the escape match, the traditional X
I hated
Division
these.
elimination style match. So we got the 6 participants this time. We got Shark Boy, Puma, Elix Skipper, Petey Williams, Chase Stevens, Chris Sabin. I mean, yeah,
Hail Sable.
oh yeah, that theme song sucked.
Yeah, that was.
Skipper's entrance was pretty cool. Him jumping basically over the top, landing perfect.
That was fucking sweet.
Incidentally, Puma is a young, well, he's still young,
Perkins.
TJ Perkins.
Yep.
Fuck him.
But anyways, yeah, we could say what we want. Like having the gimmick within a gimmick is stupid. However, this is one of the few escape matches I really, really liked. I thought this was a great match between these 6 guys, and I like how whenever they were all in their corners, it's like you look back in this match. There's, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't Puma heel at this point?
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell, but I know that we know Petey and Elix were the heels, and then Sabin, Stevens, and Shark Boy were the baby faces, but Puma's kind of like that middle ground. So, interesting dynamics with this match, to say the very least. And then in the beginning, we see Simon Diamond and Scott D'Amore talking strategy about, hey, if it comes down to both Elix and Petey, it'll just be them. And then fucking D'Amore goes over to tell TNA and Don West about their strategy. Yeah, you were looking awfully chummy over there. Yeah, get lost, Canadian bacon. So there's your Canadian bacon food for you, because Jesus Christ. I thought that was funny. But yeah, as far as the match goes, oh yeah, Shark Boy. Hey, I liked it when he did the Stone Cold stuff. I thought it was funny, okay? Come on, I was only 13 when this happened.
Beat out of him for months, and then he
suddenly,
wakes up from a coma.
Suddenly he starts doing Austin stuff.
At the same time, everybody, you had Black Machismo, you had Stone Cold Shark Boy, you had...
And Curry Man was happening around that time too.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Curry Man.
Super Eric. The Prince Justice Brotherhood.
Yep.
I can't believe I actually remember that. Holy crap.
Oh, God. Yeah, now that makes me... Yeah, I remember the Super Eric stuff. That was all revolving around the Eric Young Black Rain feud, where he'd be in the ring with Black Rain and he's so scared.
Backwards.
Yeah. And then he goes into Super Eric and then just beat the crap out of everybody. Thankfully, after the Super Eric stuff, Eric Young got serious and not doing the paranoid shit anymore.
Escape matches are good for what they are, but they don't really have a lot of substance to them.
No, they have to rely on their characters, which, again, at this point, many of their characters are not fully defined, really. I mean, you kind of know names and know a little bit about this guy, that guy. But, and plus, this is the third X Division match we've seen in 4 matches. So it's like, all right, need something different, please. I know we had the arm wrestling gimmick thing, cool, but we need a little something different here at this point. So it's like kind of like, all right, this could be a little bit later on, but it's just like more.
Could have structured the card better.
Yeah, he could have. But yeah, like this was definitely for me the best of the Escape matches that they ever did. Because and then of course the most famous moment of the match was Chase Stevens going to the top of the cage and doing the shooting star press and nearly fucking killing himself.
Brock Lesnar's himself.
Yeah, he Brock Lesnar'd himself. And yet he still kept going like he was unfazed by it. For
like nobody
another 60 seconds.
And they do the shit that we all get pissed off about now, or at least most of us do, at least I do, and I think Walter was here to say the same thing. When the guy climbs the goddamn cage and all the guys in the ring all assemble it together and do the weird weak-ass fucking punching at each other and keep looking for the guy to get in position. Okay, jump, catch, and we all go down. They do the exact same thing in this match. They all miss him.
It was cool the first time you saw it, but now 20-something years later, it's... It's phony bullshit.
It's fucking bullshit. I'll gather around like a goddamn picnic while he's jumping on like Superman. Fuck that shit.
But the really like the main story of this match was the stuff between Sabin and Williams, as they were long rivals in the X Division, and also the captain of their own World X Cup teams coming up. And you can tell that like TNA and Don West did a good job telling that story between these two, that they both trained together with Scott D'Amore and then went on their own separate paths. And I thought the finish to this match was really fucking creative. So Sabin's climbing over, getting ready to land on the floor. D'Amore comes in, holds his legs to keep him from getting out. Petey's climbing down, and then they start fighting on the side. And then D'Amore's right underneath Petey. Petey gets knocked down on the D'Amore shoulders, and Petey's like, get me down, get me down. Sabin lands first, and then 2 seconds later, Petey lands. I thought that was a really cool finish to this match. Oh. Let me guess you
overbooked in my opinion.
Hey, even if it was overbooked, it was good.
Still, it's a third real match on the show. No, again, structure problems.
Yeah.
So, later on, maybe, but no, not for me.
But in the end, Chris Sabin wins the Escape match in 12 minutes 52 seconds. And now we've reached the end of the X Division. Well, this ain't... Honestly, looking at this match, this ain't even an X Division match. This should be a heavyweight match.
Think of it,
but...
The X Division is not about weight limits, it's about limits. So pretty much any match could be an X Division match.
Yeah. Right? But up next, it's another 6-sided steel match, and the first of 2 championship matches of the night for the TNA X Division Championship. Champion Samoa Joe defending against challenger Sabu. which this was I think this was Sabu's first match back in the company since the Barbed Wire Massacre at Turning Point the prior December. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't this the last match Sabu had in the company for a long time because he would go on to WWE in just 2 months later?
Probably.
Somewhere around this time frame. Basically, Joe had beaten everybody, so let's put him against somebody he's never faced before.
Right.
Yeah. So, and also an established name in the business put him up against.
They tried to make comparisons how it's like, in the 90s, Sabu would do all this crazy shit. In the 2000s, Samoa Joe would dominate people, so it's a dream match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
All right, if you say so, Mike Tenay. But yeah, looking back at this match, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It just, of course, Sabu did get color in this match after a chair to the face and getting his ass kicked.
He did have the benefit of having the cage, so he could catch himself when he hit the top rope and make sure he hits those flips and everything.
That's true.
At that point, 2006, Sabu can still be Sabu.
Yeah.
He can still do his shit. And Joe looks like a dominant badass. He's just like kicking the fuck out of him. And they play to their strengths in this match. Sabu does all this crazy shit. Joe grounds and pounds. It works. Both guys who have set gimmicks at the time and set characters, they work them in the match, and I think it worked.
But in the end, Samoa Joe with the Muscle Buster, which it's like you can kind of look back and kind of understand why he never did again after what happened to Tyson Kidd, but still, that was just one slip up. I wish he would have done the Muscle Buster
freak
after
accident.
that. But yeah, it was a freak accident. No reason
any move you could have a freak accident with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
it doesn't just come down to one move. It comes down to all the other guys in the locker room saying, "Sorry, dude, I'm not taking it." Simple as that. You know, and you got to respect that. If a guy, that's an unwritten rule in the business. Anybody ever wants to be a wrestler, you get in the business, someone says, "I want you to take this." If you're not comfortable, you can say no. Just because you're a new guy doesn't mean you can't say no. You can. So with a situation like that, it's like, "Sorry, dude, do a choke or something. I'm not taking that."
Real quick, Kanu commenter B. Yeah, we do take questions. So, and a reminder: if anybody has questions regarding this show or any other wrestling topics, send them in, and we'll answer them after we're done with the review. But in the end, Samoa Joe defeated Sabu to retain the X Division Championship in 6 minutes 10 seconds.
To continue the unbeaten streak that would last until the end of the year.
Yep. And now we get to the first of 3 marquee matches on this show for the Six Sides of Steel Anthem match, 6-man match. We got Team Canada members Bobby Roode, Eric Young, and A1 with Coach D'Amore versus
Bobby Roode
versus Team 3D, Brother Ray, Brother Devon, and Brother Runt. And there you have it. So yeah, this is the continuation of the Team 3D, Team Canada feud that started back in January after...
Actually, it started way before that point. It had been going on basically since 3D had come into TNA the year prior.
Yeah, now you think about it, because Team Canada was part of the Planet Jarrett faction, and 3D was feuding with Jarrett 3D, right away.
You had the funeral.
Yeah, and then the return of them back at Bound for Glory, and then they worked with AMW for a while, which is why I said the real portion of it being Team Canada versus Team 3D started in January, back at Final Resolution, where it seemed like 3D won the belts from AMW.
He had won the belts, and then they did some stupid, convoluted, dusty finish.
Yeah, really, really stupid. But, yeah... And then, of course, we get the segment on an episode of Impact inside the Six Sides of Steel, where Team Canada just absolutely destroys Team 3D, blooding them up, putting them through tables, and then burying them with the Canadian flags. And while Eric Young's standing there, and then, because he's so out of it from the blood loss in the match. And that led to their tag match at Against All Odds. That was pretty good. And then they had some stuff going on at Destination X, all leading up to the debut of TNA of Spike Dudley, or Brother Runt, coming in. And now we get all 3 of the Dudley boys back together for this match. And for essentially a capture the flag match, thought it was good. I thought it was a good match.
Yeah,
solid.
I enjoyed it.
And I like how it starts with Runt and EY guarding the flags, kind of playing goalie. I thought that was a really cool thing they did in this match. But yeah, and then you get towards the end where it seemed like 3D won, and I like how the referee does see it. They start to play 3D's music and then cut off. It's like, oh shit, it's not done yet. Like, ooh, someone jumped the gun on that.
God damn it! Don't fuck the finish up.
But yeah, we get to the end after 3D just obliterate everybody. They all get the flag. Team 3D wins, and then difficulties trying to get the national anthem playing. So they had to cut to a commercial and then cut back to hear the crowd singing, which I thought that was pretty fucking cool.
Great improv, yeah.
That was really cool moment right there. I actually also liked Bubba Ray's promo before the match too, saying I would rather
go work for that despicable company in Connecticut than ever have to hear the Canadian national anthem again.
Bro, are you serious? No, I'm just ruining you guys. Like, nice little click there.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And I like when they say Brother Runt, and Spike just kind of looks like, okay.
Brother Ray, Brother Devon, Brother Runt. Where's Brother Chubby? Brother dances with.
Brother dances with. Big Dick Brother.
Sign Guy Brother.
Sign Guy Brother.
Studley Brother.
Studley!
And well.
Jesus. But in the end, Team 3D defeats Team Canada in 8 minutes 47 seconds. And now we get the first of a double main event, quote unquote. But,
AKA no main event.
Yeah. But up next is the penultimate match of TNA Lockdown 2006, and the second of 2 championship matches of the night, this time for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Champion Christian Cage defending against Abyss with James Mitchell. The build up to this match was fucking awesome. Looking back at it, it was dark. It was a great story, but it was so dark for the time TNA did this, where it all started back the month prior at Destination X after Christian had defeated Monty Brown in a title match, and then Planet Jarrett all come in and just beat the fuck out of Christian, and that also leads into something else coming up in just a little bit with the main event. And then Christian starts feuding with Abyss, and James Mitchell is like, "You are holding the belt that belongs to the monster, and we'll do whatever it takes to get a shot," and goes, stalks Christian's real-life wife. And then Alex Shelley with the paparazzi cam coming to Christian's house in Tampa, and Christian pissed off taking trash out. "You don't come around my house or my wife, you son of a bitch." And then the home invasion, the beatdown of Christian, nearly drowning him in the pool.
That's enough, Abyss. You can't win the belt from a dead man.
I'm like, whoa, what a lie.
That was a good call.
Everything Mitchell does at this time is just freaking gold.
Yeah, and then
he's got the hair of the wife there, and he's sniffing it at the end. Like, oh, you creepy fuck!
Best manager in TNA history.
Yep,
you know it,
absolutely
undeniable.
And then, of course, Christian's promo on the Impact leading into this was really great too. "Are you prepared to die? Because I am." And then I like how right before the match, JB's trying to interview Christian. And he just
no cells,
takes the hoodie off and then just walks away. Mm-hmm. And then we get the match itself, and wow, these two put on a fantastic match. Like, wow, they just bludgeoned the shit out of each other.
Abyss deserves so much more credit than he gets.
Absolutely.
Underappreciated is an understatement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He was more than a hardcore guy, ladies and gentlemen. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. It was leading up to the hardcore stuff that makes it bigger, and he knew how to do that.
Yeah.
Worked some great matches. And is he still a producer in WWE?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know if he got furloughed or not last year. But
no.
Okay.
But yeah, like, this was, while this feud would continue afterwards, I like how they ended it, but if we ever talk about Sacrifice 2006 at some point, we'll go more in depth about that. But for, like I said, the build-up to this match, fucking fantastic. And the whole feud, even though it was only a 3-month program between these two, at least for the time being, they would revamp their program at the end of the year involving Sting for the title, but for this short portion of these two, they put on fucking magic. While, like I said, this was a fantastic match, I'll always say that their match the next month, the Full Metal Mayhem match, was just a little bit better, in my opinion. Especially given the proper end to the story with Mitchell, especially taking the beating from Christian in that match. But 2 bags of thumbtacks. Like, it's like, really? Do we need that
tradition?
I mean, I love the thumbtacks, but damn, 2 bags. Holy fuck. Like, holy shit. And I like how he's trying to flip.
Ain't enough.
Yeah, 1 bag's not enough. We need 2 bags, damn it. We need 2. Or at least we need to get one of those thick bags that Mickey Foley had.
Some glass while you're at it.
Yeah, thankfully, no.
Yeah.
I forgot when I was watching the match, I was like, what's in the second bag? And I was thinking, is it screws? Is it Legos? No, it was more tacks. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It would implement glass later
a year
on.
later.
Yeah.
A year later, he would start doing the glass a little bit more. But yeah, and then we get to the end. So after Abyss gets a sunset flip powerbomb into the tacks, still not enough. And then after a black hole slam, still not enough. So why not end the match with a fucking kill switch face first into the fucking tacks?
Mm-hmm.
And then, in the end, Christian Cage defeats Abyss to retain the NWA World Heavyweight Championship in 14 minutes, 7 seconds. And then post-match, as Christian's walking away, he looks back like a switch went off, and he wants Mitchell more than anything, beat him up, because he's the mastermind behind this shit. And then Abyss beat him down and then hang him with the chain. Pretty cool visual to end this whole thing. And then they walk out with the belt because Mitchell promised Abyss would walk out of Lockdown with the belt, even though he didn't win
This
it.
is yours.
Yep. Great way to continue the feud and keep the heat on Abyss and Mitchell.
Set up Full Metal Mayhem. Tables, ladders, chairs, and chains.
Yep. So now we move on to the actual main event of the show. And for the main event, only the 3rd time ever Lethal Lockdown match. Well, second time under the name Lethal Lockdown, but 3rd overall. We have
really the first of the actual Lethal Lockdown the way we know it today. Because they had done Lethal Lockdown, but this is what Lethal Lockdown actually is.
Yes. So here we have Jarrett's army of Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, and the NWA World Tag Team Champions, America's Most Wanted, Cowboy, James Storm, Wildcat, Chris Harris, versus Sting's Warriors, Sting, AJ Styles, Ron the Truth Killings, and Rhino. More great build-up for this, and all goes back to the end of 2005 after the main event of Turning Point, where we get the tease, Sting is coming to TNA, and then we get Sting's in-ring return for the first time in a few years at Final Resolution in the tag match with Jarrett and Monty Brown versus Sting and Christian. And it's a little weird looking back. They were trying to build that matchup as possibly Sting's final match. And like in the story that they would build on the next Impact, like, I don't want anything to taint that moment. I want one bit of closure to my career. And then Christian coming out and being like, dude, you still got it. You should stay. And like, because they were trying to hype up that Sting was going to be the next #1 contender against Jarrett. But then when Sting walked away, Christian ended up taking a spot. And that's when we get to Against All Odds when Christian won the belt. And then
Christian already was the #1 contender, but whatever.
Yeah. But in the end, and then we get to the build-up to Destination X. We're back to Alex Shelley again with the Paparazzi Productions. Jarrett hires him to go see, because Eric Young kept insinuating Sting is not gone. And they're like, will you stop? Okay, fine. Alex, I want you to take your camera and film Sting in his house. So that way we could prove to Eric that Sting is retired. Okay, fine. Filming his family out in California and all this and that. And then brings the tape back. Okay, Eric, do you believe us now? No. Okay, fine. We'll want you to go talk to Sting in person and ask him if he's done. And then one day, Steve Borden's backing up. He notices Alex, pulls up in front of him. Turn that camera off! You tell Jeff Jarrett he's out of his mind and tell him that Steve Borden's coming to the pay-per-view. Get a life, idiot!
Because it's real now. He used his real name.
His name's Steve. Your name's Steve. Oh, Steve, how you doing, Steve? I better cut your grass, Steve. I can tell you, they're going to yell at you.
And then we get to Destination X. So to finish off what I was talking about with the Christian beatdown, so all of Planet Jarrett just beating the shit out of Christian, cuffed to the ropes. Out comes Steve Borden to clean house. And he had basically everybody at bay until Scott Steiner showed up to make his debut in TNA. And they
fucking mic.
and then they all fucking annihilate Steve Borden. And then the interview happens, and Steve's like, I will not feel satisfied until I cut the cancer out of TNA, and that's Jeff Jarrett. So you tell Jarrett that Steve Borden not coming to the pay-per-view. You tell him Sting is coming to the pay-per-view. And then we get the weeks of build up to this match where the whole locker room's out in the Impact Zone with it's like 3 different groups of wrestlers. One led by Rhino, one led by Killings, and one led by AJ, all telling Jarrett, you want a war? You're going to get one. And then it's revealed that AJ, Truth, and Rhino are going to be on Sting's team for Lethal Lockdown. And prior to the show, Jarrett's Army win the coin toss for the numbers advantage. And we start the match off with AJ Styles and Chris Harris. So, of course, with Lethal Lockdown, it's basically, because Lethal Lockdown is essentially TNA's version of War Games, but with one ring.
Yep. 6 sides of it. So, so 6 sides, there's 4, 8, so there's 2 sides short. Okay.
Yeah.
But, it's all numbers. Scott Steiner's the expert on numbers. We know that. But, so it starts out real easy, real basic. That's what you want to do because you got a long night. And they even acknowledged that on the commentary. Like when AJ's coming down, these 2 men are going to spend the most time in this match. Like, very good point. So they don't want to do anything stupid, crazy right now. They're going to reserve their energy. They got a lot to do. And Harris is going to be very important all the way up to the end. We'll get to that. And AJ too with other stupid shit.
Yeah.
But so just get that going, get the crowd going in there. They both trade finishers, and here comes James.
Mm-hmm. So out came Storm. They double team on AJ for a while, and then out comes Rhino. Rhino gets a bit in, but AMW just take it to them for a little bit until Jarrett comes out next. And then Rhino and AJ get out of the cage and just start wailing on him. And then all 3 of them beat down AJ and Rhino for a bit. Then out comes Truth, selling out 3-on-3. And then Steiner, being the last member of Jarrett's Army, come out. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I can't wait to kick ass because I'm out of my mind!
And I do gotta say, knowing how R-Truth has been the last, 10 years, it's sort of weird going back and seeing, oh, shit, he was once a main event star in TNA.
Yeah,
2-time world champ.
Hey, he was a world champion.
Mm-hmm. He was an NWA world champion. Yep, twice. So, we got to respect that. It's just because he's 24/7, he's the face of the 24/7 title and all that stuff. Cool, really cool. And just at his age, he still looks the same.
Yeah,
exactly.
It still moves the same.
20 years ago, he was a legit main event star in that company.
Yeah, it was crazy, and just to see how he's gone on to play the game properly and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Look at everybody in that. Who's okay? Let's do the rundown. AJ still wrestling. Rhino still wrestling. I think he's back in Impact.
Yeah, Truth still wrestling.
Storm just had his 1,000th match.
Yes, he did. Harris out of the business. Steiner out of the business. And
Steiner is here and there.
But pretty much he's done. And Jarrett, producer for WWE. So
and staying now in AEW.
Still now in AEW. Gail Kim, married to the Food TV guy. And Jackie Gaeta, no idea.
No, out of the business.
Yeah. So.
Recently divorced Charlie Haas last year.
That's the breaks, kid.
Yep. But yeah. But yeah, and then I get kick ass. I'm out of my mind. Fucking love Steiner's promos in TNA, I swear. And then Sting being the last man to show up, and after a few minutes of him, and of course the quadruple Stinger splash, bring that roof down, and out comes, and I like how they had the sparklers going off, bringing down the roof with all the weapons, and then Lethal Lockdown begins, and they just go insane throughout the rest of the match. The most insane part happening towards the end of the match, where Storm and AJ go on top of the roof because there was those little gaps you can climb through to get out, and they just go crazy up on the roof. And then at one point, because Gail Kim and Jackie Gaeta were at ringside, Gail tried to climb up, Jackie pulls her shorts off, revealing her ass, and then chase each other. So can't go wrong with little ass action.
Can't go wrong with that. And don't forget Gail Kim taking the gate in the face.
Oh yeah, right in the beginning of the match. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. Because even Gaeta's looking at her like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, because like, geez, that wasn't supposed to happen. Ooh. But and then the spot of the match, Storm and AJ set up a table and a ladder on the roof of a cage. Storm's on the table. AJ, instead of jumping off the ladder, he grabs onto the light supports and then splashes Storm through the table on the roof. That was a pretty cool spot.
Yeah, crazy.
So much bad could have happened. Just one little...
Yeah, like what if the roof caved in and
that whole thing down?
Yeah.
Something like that. One of those
you don't know.
Broke, or he fell off the ladder or whatever. Just so much shit can go wrong. And lucky as fuck. As simple as that.
It's one of those things. This whole thing was to make sure Jeff Jarrett didn't escape. Yet there were two little exits on the top. Like, really?
always one little.
One little.
All right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one little wrench in the works that kind of makes things.
Gotta have AJ do his shit.
Otherwise, it ain't good. But yeah, then we get to the end of the match where it's 3-on-3 in the ring now. And Harris going after Sting with the handcuffs, puts him in the sharpshooter, and then the slick counter into the Scorpion Deathlock. Harris taps out. Sting's Warriors defeats Jarrett's Army in 25 minutes, 23 seconds.
And off the air they go.
Right after. It's like
we're done. It
was like they were on the cusp of being cut, it seemed, at that moment.
Bye. See you on Impact.
Bye.
Yep. Bye.
Our thoughts are with you, Chevy.
So overall, TNA Lockdown 2006, really fucking good show. Really good show. Not a bad match on this show at all. And if you ask me, and if I were to go even further, in my opinion, when it comes to Lockdown pay-per-views, the best one to me.
One of the best ones, yeah.
Or at the very least, one of the best, yeah. So, if none of you guys have seen this show, go and watch it. You will not be disappointed.
On YouTube. That's where we found it.
Yeah, you can find it on YouTube for now.
On YouTube.
For now.
Yeah, for now. Yeah. Thankfully, James found it for us, so we could all watch it.
Yeah. So
now
I
just typed in Lockdown 2006, and oh shit, the full pay-per-view.
There it is. Yep.
And also, it has a bunch of 2006 TNA pay-per-views.
So now with all that said, now on to favorite, least favorite, and sleeper match of the night. For me, favorite match, I'm going to give it by a hair to Lethal Lockdown. And the other match that was in contention was the world title match. Least favorite, the X Division title match with Joe and Sabu. And then for sleeper, this is tough because, like I said, there was no bad match on this show, so you wouldn't have a wrong answer as far as the sleeper. But if I'm going to pick a sleeper, I'm going to give it to Daniel Sinchi. Scott?
Okay. I agree with you on favorite match. I'm right in line with you. I give it to the main event just by a smidgen of one thumbtack, if you will, over Christian and Abyss, because that was a great fucking match too. But yeah, main event gets a little bit more in my opinion. Least favorite was the X Division escape match. I was too much X Division in one big clump right there. So it's like, all right, cool. But again, for me, overbooked finish, too early in the show, didn't work. And then for the sleeper match, I thought the Anthem match, the 6-man, was really good. I like the drama with it. I like the way the Dudleys got the crowd involved with it. I love the goalie spots and everything else going on with this match too. So that's my sleeper.
James?
My favorite match was Lethal Lockdown. My least favorite was the Escape match. Just eh. And then my sleeper would be the opener, the opening X Division match.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was a really good way to open the show.
Yeah. But like we all said, great show. So it's hard to really pick, like, it comes down to your own personal.
Now, if we count the arm wrestling match as a match, that would be the least. Fine.
No, I didn't. Yeah,
I
was
didn't
entertained by it. So it was a segment. I was entertained by it. I enjoyed it. So, it was fun.
Yeah. But now, Push Job Endeavor for this week.
Yes, Push Job Endeavor. And oh my God, there were so many names we could use on this one. So, but looking at the time frame, I just went with a basic theme on this one. So for Push Job Endeavor, we're going Team Canada. Petey Williams, Bobby Roode, Eric Young.
Would have been easier if you had A1 in there.
Oh yeah, that's why I didn't put it in there.
Oh God. Push, Roode, Job. Oh God, this is gonna be tough. Oh God, because I don't want to endeavor either EY or PD.
Right.
But if I had to choose one of them, that I would Job. I guess EY and Endeavor PD, even though I really don't want to.
Yep. And writing it down, I think that was pretty much my same thoughts. Because Roode, we knew was going to be a star, and pushed the hell out of him. And yeah, I mean, Young is a strong enough character where he can put guys over and retain his character and stay
over or get heat.
PD at this point, he's known for one move, the Canadian Destroyer. Other than that, he doesn't really have a gimmick. So it wouldn't have hurt it to say let him go to Japan or Mexico or maybe even WWE if it was even a possibility there, or Ring of Honor or whatever, and let him flourish there and then come on back as a new fresh face.
James?
Yeah, Push, Roode, Job, EY, and Endeavor, Williams.
There you go.
Yeah, because when you
EY basically put over a bunch of people and was still over.
Mm-hmm.
The longest time.
Yep.
Yeah. Arthur had one of EY, Puma, and Cincy. Push, Cincy, Job, EY, Endeavor, Puma. Russell just said Push, Roode, Job, PD, Endeavor, EY.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, and now I'm agreeing with endeavoring PD just because it's really after the Team Canada split, it's he became a vague babyface and didn't really do anything until he got. It wasn't
until he was paired with Steiner.
Exactly. Yeah, little PD Pump.
Now he's doing Scott Steiner math promos backstage on Impact.
Oh, good grief.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, it would have been easier if we had A1, then we all would just said, Endeavor A1, because he was green.
Yeah,
he was fucking
I didn't put him in there.
Yeah, he was just there to be the strong guy in the group, not really much else.
Yep. And if you remember, the original Team Canada had Teddy Hart in it.
Mm-hmm. Back in 2004.
Then he got fired. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, yeah. Big shock at that one.
Anus. Oh my God, Teddy Hart got fired.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Teddy, you defiled my last name, bub.
You son of a bitch, you got fired again.
What'd you do this time, you jackass? What'd you do to get fired this time? Because if you get fired one more time, I'm going to have to put you in a sleeper and make sure you never wake up again.
Mm-hmm.
His lips are turning blue there.
Because, Teddy, if you wanted to try me, why didn't you try me? God. But anyways, now on to some questions. Some questions. And yes, before Arthur would ask, Hob one on the night was Gail Kim. Oh yeah, I completely forgot one other big moment that happened on the show. We had the debut of Christy Hemme, who came in to deliver the announcement to Mike Tenay.
Oh yeah.
This was the beginning of the build towards Jim Cornette coming over. And Raven returning on this night for the first time in 3 months.
Sloppy Raven.
Yeah. Blue-haired Raven.
Blue-haired Raven. This is when Scotty, I think, finally the diabetes kicked in and he was not in good shape.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This was Raven, I don't give a shit, pay me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
At this point.
It's like he lost the world title and he was never in the main event again.
Nope. No, he was never in the main event again after that. And that sucks because, yeah, he got the belt 2 years too late, but better late than never.
2 years too late. He should have won it in 03.
Mm-hmm.
Red fucking hot.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Anyways, over on Twitch, X as I call him because I do not know how to say your name other than just spell XCVRTYU. Did I see that fiery Arca crash? Yes, I did on YouTube. There you go. Jesus Christ. Ricky said, non-wrestling news, the winner of the Josh versus Josh fight was won by a 5-year-old kid named you. Guessed it. It's Josh. You guessed it, Josh. Not sure what that joke's supposed to be, but I don't get that either. We need context, Ricky.
Context, damn it. Context, pal.
Context is king.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep.
Are you contextually active?
Contextually. Before we continue, a couple announcements regarding the Shadow Cult channel itself, for those who don't know and are just hearing it for the first time. Scott and I, who are doing the crossover stuff to the gaming side of the channel, with a bunch of our friends, Dylan and Riley. Dylan, some of you guys who watch may know him as Kamikaze Games, doing a Minecraft Treehouse Revival series. I edited 5 episodes. They will start coming out on Monday. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you'll get a new episode of the Treehouse series, and so far only one session recorded. We plan on recording the next one this coming Monday, and it should be really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Russell asks, thoughts on Yoshitatsu?
Wow.
That's a random one.
Really random.
Very random question.
Yeah.
Because he never got over in WWE. I mean, they were trying. They've always been looking for, stars of different ethnic and cultural backgrounds, and he was just, the one that was chosen at that time. Mm-hmm. So never really got over there. Then I don't know what happened to him immediately after he got released. I know he went to New Japan, and he was trying to try to reinvent himself there.
Nearly got his neck broke. The Styles clash.
That's true. So I don't know
when AJ pretty much broke everybody's neck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
little tip to you guys taking the Styles clash: do not do this, do that, and you're better.
Yeah. Which is weird because it's completely opposite of what you're taught.
Exactly.
You're taught tuck your chin, kid. And what do you do in Styles clash? Don't do that.
Yeah. Yoshitatsu, it's like, I remember when he first came in, I think it was Sheldon Benjamin who was making fun of him doing and then got his head kicked off and lost to Tatsu right there. It was on an episode of ECW. Yeah, can you believe it? I actually watched WWE ECW in 2009. What the hell was I doing? Anyways.
NXT 0.1.
Exactly. It's like Tatsu, it's like he was fun, but just did not connect with anything. Yeah, nothing at all. Arthur asked, how would James Mitchell manage in the 80s?
He would have really had to tone down his vocabulary, because if you've seen any of the Daryl Van Horn promos in Smoky Mountain Wrestling, he was throwing some words out there that were flying over the censors. He was telling people to, he called the dirty white girl a walking yeast infection, and told people to stop belching their dogs, and little things like this. He'd said one time he got censored, and it was something about the Rock and Roll Express. And he says something. He's going to do this to Ricky Morton, and he's going to take out Robert Gibson's one good eye and make him give him a beep. and it was going to be a wink job. That was going to be what he said. But they came up, beep, and that was the one time he was censored. So, and Corny would just give like Mitchell the bulk of the bullet points, and then, as James said, he would weave his filth all around it and just throw all these weird references in there. Of course, when we went to ECW, he had a little bit more freedom to do the really crazy stuff, the fire
minister
thing,
character,
blowing up in his hand, that whole crazy story. And I had a friend of mine who was there and saw the whole thing, and when it actually happened. And of course, you go to TNA, and he does these awesome promos like the Carnival Barker type stuff with Abyss, and yeah. So, but he really would have had to tone down back in the 80s. He would have given, though, like Cornette and Heenan and Gary Hart and all the great managers of the time a run for their money.
Mm-hmm. I would agree on that, because, yeah, his time in TNA from the beginning through till when he was done in his first run in like 2008, fucking awesome.
He's still around today.
Still around, yeah, still around today here and there. But like I'm talking about his, yeah.
They did the whole storyline Impact with Rosemary and Bunny and all that stuff, and the undead bride and all that stuff. And he was so involved in that. That was like one of the best angles they ever did.
Let's see. Ricky said, so the recent firings, I was honestly shocked they actually fired the people responsible for sending Mickey's belongings in a trash bag. I mean,
if you hadn't that picture, nobody would have known about it.
Yeah. I mean,
so
I will say this, firing them, regardless of it being disrespect, bit harsh. I would just suspended them for a while, that if I were me, because kind of harsh to straight up fire somebody. And if I was Johnny Ace or whatever, I would have just suspended them for like a month or so without pay, and then bring them back, and hopefully they'll learn to be more respectful. If not, it happens 2 more times, you're gone. The 3 strikes, you're out.
Going on for years.
When you're a publicly traded company, you can't do that. There's a whole different situation when it comes to that. Private company, yeah, what you just said would be way more applicable. Publicly traded company is a different situation. I know.
That's true. That is true.
That pisses off the stockbrokers. They're the owners of the company, technically, so you don't want to do that, and they got to let them go. And by the way, I don't think Carano was the one who actually did the bag. That was probably an underling of his that did it, and he got fired because he was their manager, and that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be a fall guy.
That's right.
And thankfully, and thankfully, WWE in response gave Mickey the proper dues. So kudos.
And Jim Cornette mentioned this on his podcast. I think there's credibility too, because I think Meltzer may have mentioned it. Not giving credit to Meltzer himself, but whoever was writing the article was talking about there's a big switch up happening and change ups happening in WWE's management behind the scenes. Nick Khan has been brought in, who was from CAA, which is an agency corporation. Same place, by the way, that Mike Ovitz came from. If you don't know the name Mike Ovitz, you might be too young. Mike Ovitz was the guy who was in charge of Disney years ago and helped build that company up. So this is a major company that Nick Khan comes from. He's already starting to influx a lot of his own people into the management of WWE. Something's going to be happening with this company in some short period of time, because there's so many things being moved around right now. So many pieces are being placed in certain places that it seems like something big is on the horizon. We might be seeing a little bit of a teaser with the, I'm not talking about like with the product. I'm talking about with the company itself. Because we've already seen a little bit of that with WWE Network becoming assimilated with Peacock, which is owned by NBC Universal. And NBC Universal and Vince, Dick Ebersol in particular, and Vince have had a long history in relationship.
Almost 40 years.
Yeah. With Saturday Night's Main Event, they wanted to reboot the XFL. We saw what happened with that before COVID.
Yeah.
And so
and real quick before you continue, I do want to pitch in with the XFL thing. If it wasn't for COVID, well, XFL's coming back next year for a second season, and I'll be honest, I actually liked the revamped XFL. I thought it was a lot better than the failure that was the first time, and I was having hopes for it. Had COVID not happened, no doubt it would have kept going. But hey, thankfully it's coming back.
XFL and WWE separate this time.
Yeah, yes. And that was the thing that made it work. So thank God for that. And who knows, next year, whenever it returns after the next Super Bowl, whenever it comes back, maybe this will be the time when Vince steps away and focuses on that for the rest of his life, but I ain't holding my breath just yet for that.
Doesn't The Rock own it, though?
Yes, Rock owns it now. He bought it from Vince.
So
15 million.
Oh, there goes that possibility.
Yeah, it's a whole separate company now, which to your point, will make it a benefit because it won't have the stigma of WWE ensconced upon it completely. You know, like Vince came out the very first game of the very first XFL season to put over everything. It's like, no, go away. So they tried to create drama where there was no drama. But getting back to what I was saying before, yeah, some chicanery is going to be happening. It looks like with WWE within the next 3 to 5 years.
Yep. X asking, "Oh, Scott, I know you're going to enjoy this." X asked, "Thoughts on Pat McAfee in WWE?"
McAfee.
He's back where he's behind the microphone. Leave him there. Keep him out of the fucking ring. But if he wants to go back in the ring, I'm sure Bad Bunny will take him on as a student.
I knew that. I knew that answer was coming. That's why I saved that for you to answer. I mean, Pat,
yeah, we have talked about this. He's great on the microphone. That is undeniable. This guy can talk. Leave him there.
Yeah,
that's where he belongs.
If you're gonna have him in the ring, tell him to fucking sell.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, I mean, at least Bad Bunny can sell, and actually, I said it whenever we did the review of 3791. WWE should sign him to like a part-time contract, like come in whenever he wants to, do a match, and he'd do a great job because he did a phenomenal job in that match at Mania. The best celebrity performance in a wrestling match I've ever seen.
Well, the funny thing about McAfee is Cornette put him over.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's weird. He did do that. That's really crazy to see that he did that.
But anyways, then X asks the long-standing question that's been asked for 6.5 years. Everybody keeps wondering, is CM Punk ever coming back?
No.
Short
Just
answer,
stop
no.
with that question.
Exactly.
If it happens, it ain't going to happen anytime soon.
No.
Not until there's full crowds back and all that stuff, because that's a wasted opportunity to just let him come out in front of nobody.
Exactly.
So, and he doesn't involve himself in wrestling anymore. You know, when they had the show on Fox Sports there, he was hired by Fox Sports. He was not hired
WWE.
by WWE.
Yep.
No, so completely separate.
Yeah, and Punk said himself on that first appearance, "This is a Fox gig. I'll say whatever I want. That's on my mind. I don't care." And there you go.
He has nothing to prove.
Nothing.
Exactly. I mean, got the belt for 14 months. If he were to make peace with the company, Hall of Famer, hands down.
Yeah.
But
and he never closed WrestleMania. He never had the main event. So
a lot of fucking people have it.
Thank you. Yeah, you don't need it. He's still a name. He's still people talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking this year, 10th anniversary of the pipe bomb.
Exactly.
People still talk about.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if CM Punk were to ever come back on television just for one-off appearances, maybe one match, but if he were to have one match, who would you put him up against? That's a question in and of itself.
There's nobody there.
Yeah, there's really nobody there that's a big enough... Well, maybe Roman, but...
Well, I mean, that started a lot of the heat on Roman. We got to make Roman look strong. When he said those words on Colt Comanda's podcast, that stuck with the universe. And that's when Roman really started to get a lot of bullshit from the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of already made feud.
Could make Punk a commentator.
That would be the preferred role to put him in. Is
and I think the only way he would ever accept that is Vince not being in his ear.
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
Button. He'll hit the mute
He'll
button.
hit the mute button and just say, "Hey, you spilled my diet soda." Because for that short time when he was doing commentary, he was fucking great. So yeah, honestly, if Punk were to come back like on a full-time basis, commentator, not as a wrestler. So, and like I said, for the Hall of Fame,
have him teach promos. Have him teach promos.
Promo coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He kind of take over what guys like Dusty did prior to him passing and help guys on the mic. And he'd be great at it because Punk is one of the best in modern times on the mic. There's no dispute on that. Anyways, Russell's saying that I always thought the Mordecai gimmick would have been good. And you know what? I will agree. Because, the character on paper is a great character, like the antithesis to The Undertaker. Someone who supposedly represents heaven, but is doing evil things to make it happen. Whereas Taker being more on the hell side, but doing quote-unquote good things. Mm-hmm. Kind of like the yin and yang to The Undertaker. And as we know, originally he was meant to be an opponent for The Undertaker, but Kevin Thorne just, like you said on your stream
then the bell
yesterday,
rang.
Yeah,
then the bell rang.
Just too slow for that character to warrant his moveset.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, Kevin Thorne got better over the years, but it makes you wish they had saved the character for when Kevin actually got better as a wrestler. Like in 2007, that could have been something, but it is what it is. And hell, that gimmick didn't even last like 2 months.
No, it was really short.
And the biggest things he did was talking about Eddie and then losing to Ray. That was it.
Put him in a match with Hardcore Holly on pay-per-view.
And granted, his entrance was fucking epic, though.
Love the entrance.
The
Love
entrance
the
is amazing. The music, it fit.
Yeah.
Bringing out that
Kiss
cross.
Demon had a good entrance, too, and then he had to have a match.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. X was like, put Batista in charge of the XFL.
Wow.
X asking, when would Cena come back? Well, he's bound to show up for a one-off at some point.
Again, when we get the crowds back.
Probably SummerSlam.
It's all predicated on that, so we'll see what happens.
But now that gets into another big question. Like, if Cena were to come back, there's one big thing they need to do with him. There's one story that they got to do at some point, and that's Cena chasing the quote-unquote record-breaking world title, 17th world title. Because they could run with that story and do some good with it and, like, build up guys.
Pull him against a young guy.
Mm-hmm.
Put him over.
Because if I were to book something like this, like Cena come back for one final full-time run for, like, maybe a year, I would give him the title just to piss people off. And then, it depends on who you would have him beat. Like, I wouldn't have him beat a new guy for the belt. I would have him beat an established guy for the belt and then put over a new guy in the end, and then he can go away. So that way, in the end, Cena would make it.
Does he really need it?
Doesn't need it.
I mean, he doesn't need it, but that's the biggest story they can do with him now at this point.
If they utilized it in that context where his victory of the championship is ultimately going to be used to put over a young or established star and make that star the next big guy, the next main dude to focus on, that I can see it business-wise and making sense.
Yeah.
But just doing it for no other reason than just to make it 17, no, not necessary.
Like having him be the guy to beat Roman. That would be dumb.
That would be totally dumb.
Yeah, like I said, that's why I would have him beat, other than Roman, an established guy, like beat Lashley, have him beat Lashley for the belt.
No,
because I'm trying to figure out like a way to have him win the belt but not damage somebody, or maybe
there's nobody on that roster you can do it with.
The only guy I could see maybe doing it with, and he's been off TV for a while, so this would be a great catalyst to bring him back, would be Keith Lee. If you put the belt on Cena and let him have a little bit of a run, and then bring Keith back and start getting Keith in that position to start getting in Cena's face and making a challenge to him, building up to that eventual match, and then John puts Keith over for the title.
And it's ironic with what you just said. The idea that I got about this came from one of Adam Blompier's recent booking videos, and he said the exact same thing. At the end, he'd put Keith Lee over.
There you go. So He's reading my mind, so he knows he knows to listen to me.
But yeah, like that would be the best way to do it because, like, yeah, like apart from that story, what else could Cena really do other than maybe to go down to NXT and have some matches put over guys down there? Like he says he'd want to.
Him and Cross are teasing something.
Yep. Because I noticed on Scarlett Bordeaux's Instagram, not just because she's hot, but she's been posting stuff about Cena on there.
Sweet ass.
Sweet ass.
Sweet ass. Especially with those thigh-high boots. Especially with those thigh-high black boots you got there. Ooh,
I talk about jackass, but I like to talk about her ass.
New quote, new clip. If anybody's there, clip that.
Yep, clip that.
Another sound quote. Russell said Cena and Drew would be good. Yeah, and I was gonna say like, because going back to the idea of like who would Cena beat for the belt and not damage anybody, you could argue like the way, now that I'm thinking back to that Blampier video, the way he said that he would do it is like Cena wins. But then he starts acting weird. Like he starts essentially making him like Bo Dallas, where he thinks he's a babyface, but he's actually heel. That kind of shtick, where it's like Cena's not.
Or do Hollywood Cena.
Or do Hollywood Cena. That would be brilliant if they did Hollywood Cena. Like have him just cheat to beat Drew or somebody for the belt.
Kick somebody right in the nuts. Pin him.
Exactly.
Don't need the AA. Don't need the STF. Just kick him right in the dick.
Dick kick city.
There you go.
Then just hold up the belt.
17.
Yeah.
Have them come out in suits. Have them talk. Have them just be condescending towards everybody. Just be a fucking dick.
Yeah. And then. Now I'm remembering also in that Blampier video, he said he would have Cena do a fake retirement thing just to make people think he's actually gone and then fool them and then get heat. And then after, kind of like Mark Henry, but in the opposite fashion. And then in the end, like after, as he said, and as you said, Scott put over Keith Lee, then Cena would actually
Whoa. You were the first to boo me. You're the first to no longer cheer. You can't say John Cena sucks anymore.
But yeah. Russell then asked thoughts on Roman versus Bryan at Backlash. It'll be a great match, but man, we've seen
they're doing that on SmackDown.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're doing it on SmackDown, I think.
Because it definitely seems like they're building Cesaro and Roman for Backlash.
Which I think it's too early to do Cesaro Roman to me. I feel like they should have started saving that for SummerSlam.
Yeah, you go wild. Try to catch lightning in a bottle.
Trying to, yeah.
At that big moment at Mania, you fucking go with it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
Yep. Remember, they can do whatever they want right now. So with no crowds there and all that stuff and the piped in noise, they can make whoever they want to be the big star and make whoever they want to be the big heel. So they have complete freedom right now.
Oh, man. Ricky said, in regards to like the Cena winning the belt, he said, what about if this scenario happened? Edge beats Roman, Cena beats Edge, and then Roman beats Cena.
I take it off of Roman in the first place then.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, that's why...
I don't think Edge needs it.
No. The idea, the window of Edge beating Roman for the title, that closed months ago. So that's not going to happen. And then with Cena being Edge, what good does that do for Edge? And why is Cena beating Edge?
We've seen that already.
Thank you. Exactly.
We saw that 15 years ago.
Uh-huh. I mean, yeah, they could do it and have a 15-year reunion of the angle and the feud and maybe do something like that, but not for a title.
Mm-hmm.
And then
have them slap Cena's dad again.
Because.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos to Cena Sr. though for going through that shit.
Oh yeah.
Ricky, who's your daddy, Montreal? Nice language. Do you teach your children the same talk? That was one of the best promos for me ever. That whole thing with Sean and Brent Hogan. Holy shit.
Sean got to be Sean again for like a month.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Angela, how you doing tonight?
Howdy, Angela, over from Scott's channel. How's it going? Just hanging out, answering some good old-fashioned questions.
If you're nice to Angela, guys, she's going to start emoting beers to everybody.
Oh, yeah. She's getting a little tipsy tonight.
Yep. She's got Uber on speed dial.
X asks, oh, this is a good one. What wrestler makes you cringe the most when you hear their name? Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Teddy Hart.
Oh, God. Where do I begin with this?
Yeah. There's a few.
Kali, I cringe all the time.
Kali, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Gonzalez. Fuck. I know some people may hate me for this, but I cringe about Baron Corbin all the time. I never liked Corbin. I still don't like him. I call him...
See, there they are.
There's the beers. There's the beers. There are the beers. And I
liked him when he was beating people in 30 seconds, but then they tried having him in competitive matches, and that's where the crowd turned on him.
Yeah, and the only good match that I can remember him having was against Chad Gable in the King of the Ring final. That was it.
He had a pretty good run towards winning the crown, but ever since winning the crown, it's been nothing. And that was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Time to get that shit up.
Yeah, time to give up the King gimmick. If you want to do a King gimmick,
retire
do
it
another.
Forever.
Yeah.
Retire it forever. Don't need any more King of the Rings because basically every king since after Regal has been nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or if you're going to do King of the Ring again, actually have it mean something like it did in 2000, like from 93 to 02. If you're going, which is what I would do if I were to bring King of the Ring back, I would have it be like kind of like the equivalent of winning the Rumble to get a shot at Mania, when like they did in 02. You win the tournament at King of the Ring, you get a shot at SummerSlam, and it was great. And it
don't
worked
put the
perfectly.
fucking crown on somebody.
Yeah, just don't do the crown stuff, and you're totally good.
Shockmaster.
The Shockmaster. That's another one. Well, Uncle Fred.
Shocker Master.
Uncle Fred was cool though.
Uncle Fred.
Master of Shocker.
Grandmaster Sexay.
Jillian Hall, I cringe at her voice.
Yeah, but that was a gimmick.
Still.
Santino Marella. Yeah,
no, I love Santino.
I love the honkometer. He should have fucking the IC title record.
That would have been awesome.
That's the hill I will die on. He should have broke the record, and it only went like 10 weeks.
Damn.
And it sucks that happened to him.
Go it to like 60 weeks and then have him lose it.
Yeah. And then he got better in the ring afterwards, and hell, even though, you look back on it, it's like he was really in the final two in that chamber match in 2012, but he did great in that
the final two in a Royal Rumble match.
Yeah. The year prior. But of course, he got the Cobra over, and I'll never forget Rumble 2012, the Cobra versus Socko. That was awesome. I don't care what anyone says. That was an awesome moment of that match.
It was. It was definitely a great thing.
Fake Diesel, fake Razor. Yeah. Poor Glenn.
Cringeworthy. It's just laughable. There's a difference.
That's true.
You know?
Well, nowadays,
he owned the rights to the names. He'll just put anybody.
Squisher.
What was he trying to be? Doctor Who in that moment? Oh, geez.
Actually, nowadays I think about it, I cringe when I hear Russo's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one that I cringe at because of what he'd been doing the past 5 years. Del Rio. Fucking asshole.
Oh yeah.
He's just a fuck up.
Yeah. And it sucks because I liked Del Rio for the longest time, and then we find out he's an absolute cock.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Besides, use a lot of drugs and...
What's tequila, brother?
and was partially responsible for Paige not being in the company for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole freaking drama. Wow.
Jeez. And I'm sorry, Paige, but you have bad taste in men, I swear.
That's true. It is very true.
You date two people in not so good bands. Well, A Day to Remember is not bad, but it's just not my cup of tea. Attila, on the other hand, that band can go fuck themselves. They are awful. But yeah, fucking Paige, grow better. Paige, grow better taste in men, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, jeez.
If I were you, I'd go to somebody's. If I were you, I'd go back to somebody else. Somebody about this tall.
There you go.
Somebody with a little gut with more to love. Anyways.
Anyway, what Ricky just said, the Divas Championship after what Paige did. And it wasn't her that did it. It was the guy she was dating at the time who did it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it.
Google is your friend.
Yes.
Russell, we the people. Well, hey, going back to that with Dutch and Swagger, I like that character because it got over, and then when Dutch or Zeb
and he got pulled over.
Yeah, that's what sucks about it because he had all the momentum heading to getting a second world title match, getting a second run with the big gold belt, and then just like that.
Yep.
Jeez. Talk about a terrible moment.
Got the RVD treatment.
Yeah.
Which was the Iron Sheik treatment with Duggan.
Are you full of Iron Sheik? Me no have nothing you got, asshole.
Yeah.
Fuck
And real quick, while we're on that subject with Swagger and Zeb, just because we say we the people don't mean we're racist. Fuck off. Anyways.
It was a gimmick.
It was a character, and also... And
even broke character to explain that, hey, we are characters on a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah, whether it's a character or not, it don't mean you're racist. It just...
Dutch goes on television as Uncle Zeb to say he doesn't like the Mexicans crossing the border. He's got longtime friends in Mexico and Puerto Rico and all that stuff. Okay, it's a character.
Exactly.
It's not shoot. Ugh.
Yeah. And yeah, Zach said, "Levi, you're not a love machine. How do you know I'm not?"
Because you're not. Are you an LOVE? All I need's my love machine. Which, speaking of that, coming soon to my channel of the music video madness, I will be doing Love Machine next.
Oh yeah,
can't wait to rip that apart because Blackie's a dick. Fuck Blackie Lawless. That's all I have to say. Sorry, Pixie, I love you, but Blackie's a piece of shit.
Anyways, I was gonna ask, but never mind. Because I don't mind Blackie Lawless. That's just me, of course.
I can't stand his fucking tool ass. Take your wig off, Blackie. Nobody's impressed.
That's true.
Holmes is
the Goon. Oh, the Goon. Yeah.
The Goon.
That
not cringeworthy. Not cringeworthy. It's just funny.
No, the most cringeworthy character, Mantar. Fuck that shit.
Yep. Or Bastion Booger.
That too.
Another one.
Teal Hopper. Teal Hopper. That was bad.
Teal Hopper. Yeah.
Skinner was bad.
Skinner was no. Leave Skinner alone. Skinner was fine.
Skinner.
Heck, once you put it back, it don't look much different.
There you go. He goes from a fabulous one to a freaking Gator Skinner dude.
Yeah, they made him look like as if he was a member of Swamp People. Yeah, imagine if that character actually was on Swamp People today. Hearing the guy, shoot him! It's a big boy! Get him! Get the gator.
Comes out of the water with the knife in his mouth.
I already killed him.
Russell says the Berserker.
Hush, 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 hush.
Hush! Hush!
trying to stab
Oh,
Undertaker
Lord.
with a sword.
Poor
Stab
John
Undertaker
Lord.
with a sword.
Poor John Nord. He just became Bruiser Brody light.
Oh yeah, Festus. That was man.
Festus. Oh yeah, one of the good
Poor,
brothers.
It's like a
poor Gallows.
It's a berserker. He grew up with all of those Minnesota guys that became big stars, and then he's just known as the guy who stabbed Undertaker with a sword.
Yeah.
Or attempted to.
Tried to.
Yeah.
Nord Barbarian to Yukon John Nord to the Viking first, then to the Berserker.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
His
somebody
friends became
else.
the Road Warriors, Mr. Perfect and Rick Rude. And Demolition.
Oh, somebody else that I cringe about just because she wasn't good on television, and plus, given the heat she had with the crowd, and it's not like good heel heat. It was like get the fuck out of here heat. Karen Angle, Jared, whatever you want to call her.
Oh.
Oh, she was unbearable.
Yeah, and in that same realm, I'd say Dixie Carter too.
Yeah.
When she tried to make herself a star and get on TV all the time, just like
Should have
Dixie
just
tried to
stayed
make herself
backstage.
Stephanie.
yeah,
Like,
And it wasn't going to work because she ain't that kind of person. Even though behind the scenes you want her to not coddle the wrestlers and have a little bit more aggression to actually give a fuck.
well, she would coddle the wrestlers, if you know what I'm saying.
Paul wanted to tap that after he found out that she had a thing for him.
Oh, Lord.
Doesn't want a MILF.
Yeah, hello.
That's
hello.
And I mean,
Hello?
I wouldn't have minded if I got to bang Karen Angle either, but just hearing the sound of her voice was so bad.
Just knowing where she'd been, man, I just couldn't do it.
If you want to know, just ask Kurt and Jeff.
Right, exactly. And I just like, no.
Eh.
She don't smell like the inside of your mother's purse after those two.
Oh.
Then a ref bump, then a guitar shot.
Oh.
See, if there was context to that, that'd be an awesome clip. But yes, everybody go to We Are Pro Wrestling. Check out James' video about the reign of terror of Jeff Jarrett, and that's the recurring theme. Great video, great essay about that. So yeah. Ref bump,
interference, guitar shot, repeat.
and repeat, and repeat, and repeat.
Zach says, Levi, you'll bang any living woman alive. Not everyone. I wouldn't bang dudes that look like chicks. Meaning in the 80s.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, as Jim Florentine said one time on an episode of That Metal Show, yeah, there was some goofy stuff in the 80s with the glam bands, but hey, this was before the era of internet porn, so you needed the 3-minute video to rub one out with hot chicks in the video. And in that time, I got 2 out with a nap. And sometimes the clip will cut to Bret Michaels, and you're like, oh well, he looks like a chick I banged in high school anyways. Oh, God. Yeah, there are certain, especially in wrestling, there are certain ladies I would not want to have a relationship with. I would not want to be in a relationship with Sunny because she's a total cunt. I would not want to be in a relationship with Sable because she's a cunt.
I know where she's been, and I don't want to go there.
Yeah. Who else? In wrestling
I think that's ODB. I think that was ODB.
Yeah,
who did that.
ODB.
Mm-hmm. She'd give you a run for your money, from what I've heard.
Yeah, that's true. As Kevin Nash said, she's a whole lot of woman.
Oh, not a woman right there. Yeah.
Zach says, with enough alcohol, you'll change your mind. I don't drink, so that ain't happening.
And if you want to know about Sunny, just ask every male wrestler of the 90s and early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yep.
Oh, God, Zach. Oh, great. We haven't had one of these for a long time. Fuck, marry, kill. Sable, Sunny, and Nicole Bass.
Nicole's already dead, dude. That's not fair.
Oh, that ain't fair.
Yeah. So give me another name besides Nicole.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like any other ladies in wrestling I would not want to be with, either due to looks or personality. Melina I would not, because I hear she's a total bitch. Or at least was. Yeah, ask Batista. How big's
John.
Batista's dick?
Sheik was the only one who gave an answer.
Zach,
That's
Nyla Rose doesn't count. Fuck off. Oh, jeez. Now I'm starting to run out of names that I would not want.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Hey, Robert's here.
oh
Robert
boy.
Carol's in the house. That one gal, Mavis, that was like 95.
Nia Jax instead of Nicole Bass.
There you go.
Okay, well,
No.
I think Nia Jax I think she's kind of hot.
I think I've said some people have tried to think I'm crazy for when I've said this. I've said this for 5 years. I still feel this way. They try and build her up as a big monster just because of her size. But to me, she's too pretty to be that.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was always
Robert-
my problem with the Nia Jax character. She's too pretty to be booked that way.
Like a monster. I think, Robert, you're talking about Mae Young is who you're talking about. Not Mavis, but Mae Young. Mhm.
But FMK, Sunny Sable, Nia Jax.
Um,
I would marry Nia just because
Fine.
I hear she's pretty sweet.
Okay.
I guess I would say a Sunny just to say I've done it with her.
Mhm.
And
Hey, you get to join the club.
yeah, I can join. That would be the only reason, honestly. Just one
I
time and I'm
fucked
done.
Sonny,
with
and all I got was this lousy T-shirt.
Lousy STD.
it. And then
He's
kill.
gonorrhea.
And then I guess kill Sable because you just have to pick one.
And Brock would kill you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I would fuck Nia because that would be a hell of a story. I'd marry Sable because she'd have the money from Brock, and
That's
I'd kill
true.
Sonny.
That's
Yeah.
true. And now Zach just had another one. Shayna Baszler, Nydia, and Vicky Guerrero.
Ooh.
I guess fuck Nydia, marry Vicky, kill Shayna, I guess?
Shayna would kill you before you.
That's
would kill
true! That's true!
her. Good fucking luck.
I know!
Yeah, I'd fuck Shayna, marry Vicky, and kill Nydia.
Hmm.
I want an adventure.
Oh, Lord. And then
She
Ricky...
dated Moses. Good one, Robert.
And then Ricky
She
brought
dated-
up, as Ricky always brings up every week, 2003 stuff, you can't go wrong.
Oh, hell no.
I'm still trying to think of other ladies I would not want to be in a relationship with in wrestling. Oh. Jeez. I guess another one off the top of my head. Oh, Lana. I would not want to be in a relationship with that bitch.
I've heard she's really nice, actually, in real life, not in the business.
Oh,
But,
actually, real quick, let me move my mic. my action figure of Lana that I've had for years from a Russell Creed. I just thought that'd be funny. Zach has a tough one for FMK. Charlotte, Becky, and Alexa. Jesus Christ.
Oh, damn. Charlotte, Becky, and Alexa.
I really don't know. For me, I guess fuck Becky, marry Alexa, kill Charlotte.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, Alexa's short and in a horror movie, so that's two criteria right there that I'm into.
Mhm. And also it's also easier for me to marry Alexa because she's from Ohio too. So there you go.
That's true. Yeah, that's very
Only
true.
2 hours away from my house.
So I would say I'd marry Alexa, fuck Charlotte, and kill Becky because that accent may get annoying after a while.
Yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, I would flip flop. Even though you don't want to kill Becky, but
No, you don't want to at all.
no. Oh God! Now the biggest of the bunch: Trish, Tori, and Stacy.
Oh my god.
Oh, why?
Mm.
Fuck them all and marry them all, kill none. How about that?
Oh, you gotta fuck one, you gotta marry one, you gotta kill one. Those are the rules, Levi.
Rules, man.
I'm changing the rules, motherfucker. Oh
I'm
God.
ruling your life tonight.
I couldn't kill any of them.
No, you couldn't. But if I had to,
If you had to kill one of them,
people are gonna think I'm crazy. But fuck Tori, Mary, Stacy, kill Trish. I don't. It might flip flop.
Mary, Tori, kill Stacy.
I agree with. I would marry Trish, fuck Tori, kill Stacy. That's me.
Yeah, you are ruining my life, Zach.
That's what we don't get paid for, Levi.
I know, but still. I feel like Joe Pesci again.
Fucking rabbit.
Rabbit.
Mother
Mary DeBellas, no.
Hell no.
Hell no.
No way. No, sorry.
I'll say it again. And that Bellas, I would not want to be in a relationship with at all.
No. You put F. Mary Kill with the Bellas, they're getting killed, wiped out.
If I had to choose one, if I was to have been with one of them, for me, no, I would go Nikki because I hear she's a freak in bed, and I like that. So after all, I remember an episode of Total Divas when she was moving into Cena's place. She had this massive vibrator dildo collection with her that spilled out. It seems like holy shit.
That means she can't get her off, dude. That doesn't mean she's a freak.
Well, she said herself it's only for when she's alone.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
still.
Well, yeah.
But
unless any of them smell
and then also another funny. And then on another episode,
if you want to know, ask John and ask Daniel.
And then what's funny on another episode, I
would watch multiple episodes of Total Divas.
Because I'm crazy. Okay, but there was one episode where they were talking about like getting a tour bus, particularly for Brian for his back. I'll address that in a second, and then
got another one.
I'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, so like they were talking about like Brian getting his own bus to like help his back out and stuff, and Nikki's going on about like, oh, I got a bus with Cena. We got this bedroom with a mirror on top, and Bree's laying on the bed, and Nikki's like, have I ever told you how hot it is looking up when we have sex? And then Bree's like, okay, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, okay. Mae Young, Fabulous Moolah, China. Oh, jeez.
They're all dead.
They're all dead, so it's not even fair.
Fair.
No.
I mean, if they were all, considering if they were alive.
Uh-huh.
I think we'd all be in agreement, kill Moolah.
Yes.
Now, between Mary and fuck.
Now, just because... Okay, here's the thing. Just because you're married to someone doesn't mean you have to fuck them.
That's true. Yep. But I would say fuck China because she's got experience with porn, and marry Mae Young. Because Mae ain't going to be around for much longer anyway, in that respect.
Russell did his own. Marry Mickey, fuck Candice Michelle, kill Cameron. I am with you on that, and Cameron is another one I would not want to be with, because she is a total cunt too.
Oh, yeah.
And that Tough Enough episode is so legendary. Favorite match? Alicia Fox versus Malia. Who?
Who?
It's like after that, it's like...
Of all the wrestling matches in the history, and that's your favorite?
Oh, God. From that moment, they should not have hired her. From off of that alone, it's like, yep, get out of here. We don't need you, but... I'll admit she's hot, and that's really the only reason she was there. I'm going to say it right now, because what the fuck else was she good for in the company?
The non-wrestling role, she wasn't bad, but then when
the dancing stuff, but yeah, when the bell rang and when she got a mic in her hand, yeah, go away. Go the fuck away. Anyways, X asking over on Twitch, have you seen Cena's car collection? Yes, if you have the My Life DVD, the third, or bonus feature on disc 1, at the time his car collection, now it's like super massive, but in 2007 he had a good amount, and I love how he goes into detail about all the cars, rating their horsepower, their 0 to 60 time, because he's a big race car fan. Hell, he was best friends with my favorite NASCAR driver, Carl Edwards, for fuck's sake. So that alone gives Cena plus more points in his favor to me. But yeah, like, he had so many at the time, you know, he had, like, the original 66 Dodge Charger with the electric grille before they changed it in 71. The Plymouth Superbird, which is my dream car, the classic giant winged car that Richard Petty used to drive back in the day. Basically that car. Even some modern ones like the 2006 Ford GT, which is in these two games, and they are brick shithouse cars. They are insane. But yeah, his car collection is pretty fucking sweet. Anyways, oh jeez, another one. Eva Marie, Alicia Fox, Shaniqua.
Now, Shanique, was that London Miles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm killing her.
I guess fuck or marry. I'd fuck Eva Marie because I would not want to be in a marriage with her and marry Alicia Fox.
Well, you could marry her and then divorce her right away.
That's true. Yeah. It's
Uh,
not in the rules, man. But I agree. Fuck Eva, marry Alicia.
yeah. Because at least Alicia's fun, whereas
Yeah,
Eva, bitch and a half.
Mm.
Ugh. Anyways,
It's Ellie. People on YouTube don't know what we're talking about. We're also on Twitch right now, so we're streaming both places.
yeah, that's where we get some of these
Simulcast.
Yes. Holy mother of God. And I'm still trying to think of other ladies in wrestling I would not want to be in a relationship with. Oh, God. Yeah, Eva Marie is another one. Cameron's another.
I wouldn't be in a relationship with Molly because I'm just way too pure for me.
I could probably tolerate it.
Be friends? I'd be friends, absolutely, but nothing I'd
Yeah.
want to be with every day. Terry? No.
Yeah, I'd agree.
With that.
Considering where she's been, yeah.
Gail Kim, I would be with her.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Who else?
Oh, God. Still
If we're going strictly with the ones we would not be,
yeah.
that's kind of tough.
The cat? No, I wouldn't want to be with that.
No way with the cat. Manipulative.
Just ask Wallace. Just ask one of the clubs. Just
Mm-hmm.
ask everybody else.
Now, Angela, is that an F, Mary, kill you're asking us there? Lydia, Phoenix, and Sunny? Naomi was hotter. Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Smoking ash.
With the rear view.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, that move is stupid, but hey, Naomi's got one of the best asses ever.
Yes, she does.
And like I remember long time ago, back when What Culture was actually cool, they did like a top 10 list of like the worst current finishers, and the rear view was one of them. And Blampier made the joke, I am genuinely surprised Nikki Bella doesn't have a finisher where she batters someone with her boobs. Yeah. Oh, God. I see Russell was having some typo issues over there.
Yes, she was. Yeah. Was horror.
Oh, Angela said, yeah, that was an F, Mary, kill.
So, okay.
Oh, man. Oh, geez, and now Zach's got another one. This is the most random one. Jazz, Carmella, and Missy Hyatt. That is random
Whoa.
as fuck.
Well,
Well, yeah, I'd fuck Missy just for the
Yeah.
fraternity thing.
Mary, Jazz, kill Carmella?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Because I hear Jazz is a sweetheart. Carmella,
Yeah, I
I
think
hear she's nice, but
I'm here to ruin your sex drive. What sex drive?
and also with her accent, I probably couldn't stand it for too much long.
I'm used to that.
Well, yeah.
New York thing.
Yeah.
I could speak a language if I wanted to.
I'd rather tolerate Buffalo accents than NYC accents because I got a little bit of Irish blood in me. So there you go. Well, I'm actually half Irish, but yeah,
Park your car in the yard and have a barbecue.
exactly. Thank you, Alex Webster.
That's right.
Car. And you're like, okay, yeah, you're right. I'm from Buffalo still. Yeah.
I'm from Buffalo. On my Baltimore accent.
On.
Motor oil. Motor oil.
No.
Matter of fact, Robert is in Maryland.
Oh. Oh man.
Angela is in Michigan, I believe, along with James.
Oh. Given my, I'll just leave it at that. I think James knows where I was going with that.
Given
It's sports rivalries for life, damn it.
listen here, motherfucker. Listen,
You're in Indiana.
listen, pig fucker. May I
You
call
were
you
in
pig
Maryland
fucker?
at one point. That's
What?
right.
Okay, now Zach's really pushing it. He's like, all right,
Oh,
just
God.
through of a life-ruining decision for FMK. Judy Backwell, Sarah Calloway, and Luna Vachon. Wow.
Well,
Where are you coming up with this shit, Zach?
okay,
Wow.
one of them is dead.
Yeah,
Sadly,
one is.
yeah.
Is Judy Bagwell alive?
I think so.
Probably.
I guess. I don't know.
Still taking care of Buff.
So of that list, I'd kill Judy, fuck Sarah, and marry Luna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess. Angela,
Yes.
you getting
For a life-ruining
Angela getting you
decision.
drunk, Scott?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
From Baltimore. See, I had something about Maryland with you, Robert. So I got that right.
What part of Indiana are you in, Robert? Because yeah, I went through the center of Indiana this past.
Oh, God.
I wasn't even trying on that. It just came
Clip that.
out.
Yeah, clip that.
Yeah,
if
clip
you want.
that. A burp that came out of nowhere that wasn't even forced.
Mhm.
I was trying to say because I went through Indiana this past fall whenever I was on vacation heading over to South Dakota to hang out with Dylan. Went through Indianapolis, drove by the Brickyard, funny enough. And again, another case why WrestleMania should be at the fucking Lucas Oil Stadium. They could go to the Brickyard and do some like racing stuff there because that's the most historical racetrack in the fucking world. That's a big tourist spot they could go to. Why the
So
fuck
Robert's
not?
down by Louisville. Robert's down by Louisville, he says.
Oh, so that would be okay. I'm trying to remember.
Levi's trying to do math.
No, he's trying to do geography.
Yeah, because in between
Diner geography?
Louisville and Cincinnati, there's like Lawrenceburg, Rising Sun. That's where two big casinos are at that my parents like to go to all the fucking time, even though I wish they'd quit.
Hmm.
I got lucky at the casinos once. The most money I ever won was $200. I never got that lucky ever again.
There you go.
That's why they often ask me, "Hey, do you want to come with us to the resort?" No, because I have no luck at those fucking places.
And Zach, thank you for not putting Harvey Whippleman in his female outfit. We appreciate that.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that one Phantom women's title run he had in '95.
Yep.
Technically official. Technically official.
Yeah,
In the book.
technically. I remember I had
From Walls, Mississippi. Wait, you're not Hervina. You're Harvey Whippleman.
Jesus.
directly across from Louisville. Yeah, I don't know any Indiana series directly across from Louisville. But, yeah, and just as people are coming in, it's getting more unwieldy.
I know. Tends to happen with some. It's all the beer that Angela's dishing people out.
That is
so,
true. That is
One in
very,
the pink,
very
one
true.
in the stink, one in the drink.
Yep. There you go. That's your lot. I'm still thinking, like, I don't know why I'm stuck on this one question for so long about, like, who on the ladies in wrestling I do not want to be with. It just keeps growing and growing, and I can't spew them out.
Russell says he would marry Lillian Garcia. I would too. Nikki Cross Scottish. What is that in reference to, Russell?
I
Is
guess
Nikki
the
Cross Scottish?
accent.
Yes, she is. If you want a confirmation, yes, she is.
Yes.
Hey, Russell, well, if you would marry Lillian Garcia, do you think you could handle the big bush?
Ah,
There's that. Yes.
Thank you, Sean Waltman, for that.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah. Because we know Sean would never lie about stuff like that.
Exactly.
hey, brother.
Oh, God. Waltman's one of the many wrestlers I wish I could meet. Because why the
Seems
hell
just
not?
like a cool dude.
Exactly.
He does,
Super,
yeah.
super, super cool guy.
Not when he's clean.
Yeah.
A bunch of stories.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd probably be on the ground laughing for like 3 hours straight. I mean, hell, I laughed for 30 minutes straight after hearing our buddy Dylan do his Morgan Freeman voice going, I sucked so hard on his throbbing cock that it caused me to sneeze. Because you're like, what kind of quote is that?
That's awesome.
You don't need to clip that. Whenever I'm on streams elsewhere, you can just type in the word sneeze, and that sound will come up.
There you go.
Oh, God. It still cracks me up to this day, just because it's like, what possessed you to say that line after sneezing while doing a Morgan Freeman voice? And then he goes, I sucked so hard, it caused my nostrils to contort. And out came a humongous sneeze. Achoo. And then the other thing, I completely forgot to mention this earlier when it comes to announcements going forward for the channel. Scott, Dylan, and I are going to be doing a short, 5 minutes and under comedy show called The Excellent Bants of Terry and Stu, where Scott's doing Terry Funk, I'm doing Stu Hart, and Dylan's going to be a recurring guest every episode as Morgan Freeman to settle arguments that we have over a certain topic. And our first episode is going to be about pizza toppings.
Yes.
Oh, God, that's going to be good. A little sneak preview, so to speak.
I want to tell all you people out there that want to tell me what the good stuff is to put on your pizza. All I can say with utmost certainty is that the one thing that only a jackass would put on their pizza is that wretched pineapple shit.
What are you talking about, Terry? Pineapple goes perfect on pizza, you bastard. Do you want me to take you to the dungeon so you can get your ass whipped by Owen? Because in case you didn't know, Terry, if you'd wanted to try me, why didn't you try me?
And then this is where Morgan.
And then that would be where Morgan Freeman would come in.
It would go heavier than that. This is just a sample, so we go heavier into the debate. And
we'll figure out better dialogue too.
Morgan comes in to be the voice of reason, and we all become friends at the end.
Yeah, that'll be every episode over some random stupid topic.
And no, it won't be our faces you're going to see.
Nah, it'll be the pictures of the characters.
Exactly.
It would be about the length of a episode of Cars tunes from the Disney movie Cars, where they did 3 to 4 minute shorts. It'd be basically that, but with Terry Funk, Stu Hart, and Morgan Freeman. Because who wouldn't laugh at a conversation between those three? It's just the absurdity of it is what makes it fun. But that's planned somewhere later down the road. Once we figure out good dialogue for the certain topic, because after all, I mean, Scott's good at improvising. I am not, so I need guidance. So there you go.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to there. And you know what? Oh yeah, and Zach said, but just make sure don't let X-Pac anywhere near your bag.
True, yeah.
That is true. That is true.
Especially
For your food.
This is a poop sandwich. Look at the chunky morsels. And then you feed it to somebody.
How's your poo-poo platter, Sonny?
Oh God! Now that reminds me of that one Jackass episode where Knoxville goes to a restaurant, has a vegetarian dish, and puts literal shit in it. Asks, "Excuse me, waiter, I ordered a vegetarian dish, and this looks like some sort of sausage." First season of Jackass.
And we end on poop.
And
there you go. Anyways, thank you guys who stuck around. Man, this was one of the longer episodes. Then again, we went nuts over banter at the end.
Yes.
What were we talking about at the beginning?
Marrying and killing.
Yeah, what did we talk about tonight?
Lockdown.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh really?
We're currently in.
We did an hour of Lockdown, and we did an hour of
FMKs, banters, future plans, all sorts of crap. Anyways, but before we go, But before we go, it's plug time. First and most importantly, subscribe to the Shadow Cold YouTube channel, because not just the podcast, but we got so many other cool things coming up. And another thing I forgot to mention that's coming down the pike, we're going to do weekly album reviews going forward. We're actually going to get a new member. Chronix from the Most Extreme Wrestling is now a new member of the Shadow Cold for all three things. Podcasts whenever he wants to, album reviews, and gaming whenever he's around for certain stuff. So he's going to be a big centerpiece, and he's going to be the first one to do an album review at some point. And then say Scott will do one week, I'll do one, Dylan could do one, Riley could do one, whoever else wants to hop on the train. So that's another thing coming, as well as the Treehouse series starting on Monday, and the Shorts comedy show coming soon. And of course, every Saturday night, the podcast. And remind you, next week, episode 50, the 1-year anniversary of the Shadow Call podcast. And you want the worst? You get the worst. You got the worst. And that's actually going to be a watch-along party, not an actual podcast. We're doing a watch-along party, watching Heroes of Wrestling. And how it's going to work, we'll have to be in the call like 30, 40 minutes before to get everything properly ready, because I'm going to do it is I'll have everybody's faces on the bottom of the screen, and the show will be most of the screen. Or I'll put our faces in the corners.
We're going to MST3K the fuck out of this show.
The best thing about this, it's not owned by anybody.
Exactly.
So
public domain.
It's basically public domain.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. But that's on the Shadow Cold side. Scott?
All right, sir. Over on Mr. Scott Reacts, my YouTube channel, I got all kinds of fun stuff lined up for the next few weeks there. Another music video madness video will be happening in the next few weeks. I've been going live a lot, which both Robert and Angela can attest to. They've been stopping in. So has Russell. So has Sean Henderson. All these great folks hanging out with me. So have you, Levi, of course, and various other great people too. So I've really enjoyed those conversations. I'm over on Twitch as well under Mr. Scott Rocks, where I jam out on bass to various songs and chat with folks. I'm also on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. Scott Reacts, and you find me and my brother Walter Ball as part of the Necrocasticon Horror and Metal Podcast, which comes out every Monday via the Project Entertainment Network. We're on Apple Podcasting, Stitcher, Roku, Spotify, all that great stuff, wherever we get your fun-ass podcast.
And real quick note for those who watch his Twitch, just tell him that Tom Angel Ripper is the Lemmy of German Thrash, and he'll make you eat your words.
Yes.
Because I did that.
Yeah, he learned. Don't do that.
I still think so. Anyways, James?
You can find me on my YouTube channel at We Are Pro Wrestling, where I just covered the Jeff Jarrett Reign of Terror. This coming week, I'm going to be talking about Lockdown 2007, one of the worst shows in TNA history, with a blindfold cage, an electrified cage, and a whole lot of other shit. And then after that, heading into May, I'm going to be talking Randy Savage in the WWF, WCW, and then I'm going to be talking America's Most Wanted and Beer Money. Oh. And you can find me on Twitter at WAPW_wrestling.
And finally, you can subscribe to me on YouTube, ThrashManiac99. I've been doing the 5 Questions show every Thursday or Friday, depending on when I get the videos out. Occasional album reviews. I got my NR 2003 stuff getting ready to come back here in about a week. Also going to go back to doing pay-per-view predictions and reviews, starting with Backlash, because why the hell not? Might as well get back into it while I'm at it. As far as like other stuff coming down the pike over on my YouTube channel, gonna be more gaming videos coming back. I actually recorded a 2.5-hour session of Rocket League that I've yet to edit. And I need to get to editing that soon so I can get rid of the original file, because it was 150 gigabytes big.
Wow.
It was insane.
Holy shit.
That's nuts.
It was insane because it's high quality. It was huge. But anyways, so you can also follow me on Twitter at ThrashManiac99. Even though my Twitter is essentially dead, you can follow me anyway. You can follow and or subscribe to my Twitch channel, which some of you guys have been watching, at ThrashManiac99. Plan on going back live over there tomorrow night for more this because this is all I ever play on Twitch now. And why not? It's a great game. And then finally, you can follow me on Instagram at thrashmaniac_YT, where you might get occasional selfies, but mostly like updates of like what CDs I get, maybe food pics, maybe short videos of me being stupid. You never know what you're going to get on Instagram. But anyways, that does it for this week. We will see you next week for the epic 1-year anniversary special. Get me some food and drinks to get through, because I'm going to need it. But until next time, this is Levi, and for Scott and James, horns high. We will see you next week. But before we go, time to raid somebody over on the Twitch side of things. And, well, let me look and see who all is on that I would like to read. And I found the perfect person, my good friend Laney, 1/3 of the Texas Triple Threat on my Twitch channel, along with Ricky and Chronix. So go give her some love, and we shall be back next week.